Beloved friends, welcome to PMC English. We are traveling in the path of Dhammapada and also understanding the Buddha and his philosophy. In the world, we have seen so many mystics, enlightened masters and monks who had contributed their wisdom for the upliftment of human beings in all dimensions. And also they worked for the raise of human consciousness, for the birth of new humanity on the earth. And they have fought against the violence, pretense, hypocrisy, sycophancy, and all the negative elements which had created conflicts in this world. They have gone against all these things, and also they have contributed their wisdom and given a new perception of life. And also they have given the 4 types of arts for the human beings to lead a complete and successful life. The first one is art of listening, and the second one is art of learning, and the third one is art of living, and the fourth one is art of dying. So if a man learn these 4 arts, then he will complete his life totally, and ultimately he will reach the nirvanic state, and finally he will attain the enlightenment, that is Buddhahood. So this is the whole essence of all the enlightened masters who had born on this earth. While coming to the Buddha, he had given a new outlook, new perceptions to the society, to the mankind, and also in a very scientific way. The Buddha say the science and spirituality is not different. They both are same. This outer world, this physical world, it is the another face of godliness. It is the outer face of godliness. And when we see the inner space, that is spirit, energy, it is the original being of every creature on this earth. So spirit and matter, they are not different, they are one. And also science and spirituality, physical and spirit is not the different one, they are same. Physical is the outer form of spirit, and the spirit is the inner form of physical world. They are same. If they both exist together, then the life will start. When they are working together, this whole creation has started. Without both, this creation will not exist. We need both the physical world and also the inner world. Without inner, the outer world is waste, and without outer world, the inner world does not exist. It does not appear on this earth. So Zorba the Buddha, you have to respect the physical world, and also in the inner you have to become a Buddha. So Gautam the Buddha had given a new perception to the life, and also he had given a new dimension for the birth of new humanity in a very scientific way. While coming to the Buddha, the path of Buddha was Shila, Samadhi and Prajna. In that, the first one was non-violence. Ahimsa Paramo Dharmaha. You have to stop the violence. What is the violence that we are witnessing in this world? We will see 3 types of violence: physically, psychologically, and also creating miserable conditions for others and also leading their own lives in a miserable conditions with so many conflicts, struggles, wars, and also so many discriminations in the society. In 3000 years, 15,000 wars have been fought in this world. But what we have achieved? Nothing. The whole humanity will suffer a lot when a war was fought at one place. Why? Because in this universe, everything is affected by everything. Why? Because this whole world, this whole universe is working with an organic unity. If one creature will disturb, means the whole world will disturb. It is the nature of ecology. It is the nature of this physical world. Why? Because when we see the human life is interdependent. It is not independent. Why? Because we will depend on so many things, on others, on other creatures, on other human beings for different types of things. We are not leading our life independently without the support of others. What is the society? Society is a web of relationships. And those relationships should be with love, compassion, and humanity. When we see the nations, when we see the countries, they are fighting with each other without the friendly nature, love and compassion and humanity for simple reasons. They are destroying the whole humanity for their selfishness, and also they are creating a war on this earth. So in this context, in the Buddha's period, he had encouraged the non-violence, ahimsa. In the Buddha's period, we see the feudal society, the kings and kingdoms. So when the war had existed in both the kingdoms, Buddha used to stop the war at that moment. Why? Because the war will create a very dangerous situations for the mankind, and it will create a very horrible conditions. So what is the impact of war on the future generations? When we see that they will lose so much, they will lose this nature, and they will lose their balance in the body and mind nature, and they will face a very horrible conditions in the future. So that is the reason why Buddha had avoided the wars at his time, and he had given importance to the peace, humanity, and equanimity, equality, fraternity, and also for the compassion and love. Why? Because we are born like a human beings and we have to live like a human beings, but most of the people, they are living like animals and devils. They don't know the importance of humanity, and they are creating violence and conflicts in the world, and that is the impact on this world, that nowadays in present scenario we are seeing a war in between two countries. So what they are achieving with the war means nothing, just bloodshed on the earth, and so many people are suffering, so many common people are suffering with these wars. With the presidents and prime ministers of the two countries, the two persons and their egos are fighting each other on the name of war. In between, so many common people, small children and old age people, and the whole nature is affected by this war. What they are going to achieve nothing, just they are creating a burial ground on the earth, nothing more than that. In the olden days, we have also seen so many wars in the ancient period also. At first, the people used to fight with this arrows, knives and small weapons. But when we see the First World War, Second World War, what is the impact of this First and Second World Wars in the whole world means so many countries have affected with that war, and they have taken hundreds of years to rebuild their countries and to develop up to full extent. Why? Because at that moment they have fought with atom bombs, missiles and so many dangerous weapons and explosives. So when we see the Japan in the Second World War, I mean especially the two countries Hiroshima and Nagasaki, when the America had fought a war on Japan, they used the atom bombs and explosives, and the Japan had taken 70 years to develop the two states in their country. It takes 70 years to develop. But what happening now? Today, with the development of science and technology, all the countries are creating the nuclear weapons, and it is the most dangerous weapon in the hands of mankind. And when they use this nuclear weapons, the whole planet will disturb. And in this context, the scientist had explaining that when we use the nuclear weapons for the war, this whole humanity will disturb and whole earth will disturb, and this whole nature will be affected. So when the nuclear weapon was used in the war, so in that place, up to 100 years or 1000 years, mankind should not exist on that place. The earth will become polluted, and the nuclear energy, that radioactive waves and nuclear waves, they will affect the people up to 100 years. This is what the scientists are telling nowadays. That is the reason why the UNO has avoided and stopped the usage of nuclear weapons in the wars. But when the war will continue like that, a day will come that they will use these nuclear weapons also. Then what is the impact we are going to see in future? If we see the future, and it will looking a very horrible conditions of the people and the whole mankind in the world. So we don't want war, we need peace, and we need the Buddha. We don't want any conflicts, we want non-violence, and also peace may prevail in all over the world. That is the goal of every enlightened master on this earth. They are working for that. But in society, most of the people, 95% people are leading their life in negativity. Only 5 to 10% people are working for the welfare of the mankind, for the welfare of the society, and also they are working for the development of science and technology, and also they are giving new theories, new philosophies, and some people are revolting and they are creating revolutions against this negativities, and also they are encouraging the reforms and changes in the society. This 10% people are working for the society, but most of the 90% people are leading their lives just like parasites, without any concern about themselves and also for the society. This is not the way. Why? Because India is a ancient country, but still it is backward, because they don't invite changes. And also they don't understand the nature, the universal law, the nature of this world and nature of this physical world. Just they are leading their lives just like robots in a very sedentary way. That is the reason why in India we are seeing so many discriminations on the name of caste, creed, greed, and discriminations on the name of race, and so many nonsense things in the present scenario. But this is not the heart of India. In the ancient days, the India has created so many enlightened masters, and it has become a Vishwa Guru, and it has taught the wisdom for the whole world. But now the situation is totally different. What happened to this country? Why the people are creating so much of violence in this present scenario? What is the reason behind it? So when we see the past and present situations in India or all over the world, we have seen drastic changes. We are updating in the science and technology concepts, but we are leading our lives, and we have become slaves for the past, and also we are leading our lives with the expectations on the future, but we are not leading our lives in the present moment. Always the mind will cling towards the past and future, but it won't live in the present moment. So many enlightened masters and monks given importance to the life. Life is more important. Humanity is more important. Love and compassion is more important. We are born like a human beings, and you have to live like a human being. And also you have to create a paradise on this earth, but they are creating hell with so many atrocities, violence, and so many conflicts. What is the reason behind this, all these things? Why? Because the science and technology development is not sufficient for the development of whole humanity. The spirituality is also important. The science will give direction to the people how to lead a comfortable life in this physical world, and in spirituality it teaches the life purpose, the essence of life, and also the nature of body, mind and matter, and also the art of living, and also finally it will teach us the art of dying. And when we see the younger generations, they are achieving the qualifications and they are developing the professions, but when we see their personal lives, they are suffering a lot with personality disorders, with psychological disorders, and so many negative things, and they are leading a very horrible and miserable life in their personal life. When we see their outer look, they are just wearing a mask of happiness and the mask of false prestige and pseudo personalities. They are wearing a mask, But when we remove that mask, everybody is ugly, everybody is negative, and everybody leading a very miserable life. The outer is different and the inner is different. So this is the hypocritic life they are leading in the present world. So this has to be changed. So what is the difference between the war, struggle and revolution? See, in the whole world, we will see the two type of people. The people who are leading their lives with ego, dominant, and also with the false prestige and pseudo personalities. These people are more dangerous people to the society. And when we see the three categories people who are creating conflicts on this earth, was the one is priest, and the second one is politicians, and the third one is police. With these three types of people, they are creating wars on this earth. So when we see the ancient world history, and also when we see the present situations, one thing is common in that. The war is common, the exploitation is common, and the domination is common, and the struggle is also common. But the revolution is not coming. Even when the revolution comes, also it is taking towards the violence, and also in the conflicts, wars, but it is not taking in the non-violent state with the truth and dharma and also justice. It is creating a very negative impact on the society concepts. So what happening from the ancient period in India and also in the whole world means, some people who is having the power or money power, manpower or political power, whatever may be, they are dominating the people who are in the weaker sections, weaker in the money, power or whatever may be. They are dominating. Not only between the two human beings, but also between the two nations and between the poor countries, underdeveloped countries and also completely developed countries. These developed countries are creating conflicts in the poor countries or poor nations or underdeveloped countries. This is what happening between the nations in the world. So when these people or when these nations which are dominant, when they are dominating the people who are weaker, then the war is coming. If they don't listen to the words of these dominant people, they will fight a war, they will kill the people, they will kill the whole humanity. Then from this war and from this conflicts, the struggle, they are struggling so much. The weaker section people, they are suffering so much, they are struggling so much. The war is going on the name of race, caste, creed, greed, discriminations and the power, money power, manpower, the egoistic power, whatever may be the negative elements, they are creating war on this earth. And they are destroying the whole humanity, they are destroying the nature, and ultimately they will destroy this planet Earth. Then what is the future of humanity? What you are going to achieve? This whole earth will become a burial ground, nothing more than that. Then nobody will be there to listen to your words in your death time. So be alert, be conscious. Don't create unnecessary conflicts on the earth. Stop the war. And we need a peace on this earth with non-violence, love, compassion and humanity. Man is born on this earth to become a god, but he was unable to become even a human being. And it is the most horrible thing in the human life. So every enlightened master, especially the Buddha, he had fight against the violence, and he had given a new perception to the whole humanity. First you learn the art of living, means what is your vision and what are your commitments and what are your relationships and how to be balanced in all states of your life, and practice meditation and purify your body, mind and heart. Then ultimately you will reach to the blissful state and you will attain the nirvana and you will get the ultimate truth and you will enter into the ultimate bliss. This is the goal of every human being on this earth. So nowadays we are seeing war between the Russia and Ukraine. We don't know the reasons why they are fighting war, and we don't know the inner reasons or outer reasons, but unnecessarily they are fighting, they are creating war. So many people are affected with this war. So this is not the way to solve the problems. Of course, if there is a problem between the two nations, they can discuss, they can sit, they can solve the problem. But war is not the ultimate to solve the problems. We need peace on the earth. Peace has to prevail on this earth. And if they use the nuclear weapons in this context, then the whole world is going to affect. And the whole mankind will suffer. And there is a chance the third world war may come with these two countries. So be alert and be conscious. Why? Because when this war will come, nowadays when this war will come, in the First World War, some thousands of people have lost their lives. In the Second World War, lakhs of people has lost their lives. Unfortunately, when this third world will come, this whole humanity will vanish away from this earth. Why? Because everybody are using the nuclear weapons. When one nation will use the nuclear weapon on other nation, then what happens? This whole earth will become vanish away. So this is the most dangerous situation we are going to face in our future. Then what happens for the future generations? Think once. So let us hope the best that they will stop the war, and we will request all the nations and all the prime ministers of the world and all the nations of the world to stop this war and also bring peace and sovereignty, equality and equanimity on this earth to protect the humanity and also to protect the future generations and protect this planet Earth. Be alert and be conscious. Otherwise, your earth will be gone. Who is responsible for it? We are all responsible for it. So, we don't need war. We need Buddha. We need peace. And we need humanity, love and compassion. Why? Because we are human beings. We have to live like a human beings, and you have to spread the humanity, love and compassion in the whole world. And you have to be in a very peaceful way and create a peaceful atmosphere on this earth. And we request all the authorities and all the governments of the nations and all the world governments and also UNO, please stop this war and protect the humanity from these dangerous situations. So the Buddha philosophy will help the people to come out of this, all the conflicts, all this negativities, all this violence, and you have to learn the art of living and how to lead a happy and healthy life, and also how to lead a harmonious life, peaceful life. So the Buddha had given importance to the life, that too in a very scientific way, and you have to follow the Buddha, and we have to stop the war. We need enlightened masters. We need 10,000 enlightened masters and 10,000 Buddhas on this earth to protect this whole humanity, this whole world, and also especially those who are traveling in the spiritual path and those who are traveling in the spiritual way, they have to become enlightened. They have to attain the nirvanic state, and they have to become a Buddha, and they have to achieve their Buddhahood. And 10,000 enlightened masters have to arrive from this whole humanity to protect the earth. So this is the only solution to protect the people, to protect the humanity, or to protect the whole world, this planet Earth. This planet Earth is very beautiful. When it is gone, it will take lakhs of years to regenerate this planet, and also it will create a very dangerous situations, those who are living and also those who have left their body. So that is not the right way. You have to protect the world, you have to protect the humanity, and you have to establish peace on this earth. So in order to protect the peace and the humanity on this earth, there is one caption is there: one commune, one humanity, and one world. These nations should wither away, and the world is one, the earth is one, and the humanity is one. So this is the essence of whole spirituality. This is the essence of Buddha philosophy, and also this is the Dhammapada, and also this is the vision of all enlightened masters on this earth who had contributed their wisdom for the welfare of humanity. So friends, understand this. So we need Buddha, not the war, and we will work together to establish peace on this earth with our enlightenment, with our spiritual power, and also with our love and compassion and humanity. We will protect this world and planet. Thank you very much.